Hey guys, and welcome back to another video here on my channel. Tiana here, of course. So today's video is going to be one that I think I did a few months back. It is another oldie but goodies makeup tutorial, and today I'm actually going to be using the Revlon Colorstay foundation. So how many of you all remember this foundation? I don't know if you do, it's been a while, but I was actually browsing the internet and came across this foundation again and saw that they had made some changes to it. So I figured, why not film an oldies but goodies makeup tutorial and try to use some other product in this video that I have not used in a while, even though this is going to be really the main focus of this video. So if you guys want to see this video, then please stay tuned. Okay, so like I was saying in the intro, this is the Revlon Colorstay 24-hour matte finish foundation. This was actually my first foundation that I had ever purchased, and I actually really loved it. So I'm interested to see if they've changed the formula any. Do see that they added a pump, which is amazing, because this was just like any other foundation of the time. It just had a cap on it or a screw lid, and you would screw it off and then you had to like pour it out. So annoying. And it has a pump now, so I am super excited for that because it just makes it so much easier. And everything that I remember about this foundation were good things, so I'm hoping that I still like it, but we're gonna obviously have to see. So I'm gonna prime my face today with the Maybelline Master Prime Blur and Smooth Primer. I actually have not used this in a while, so I figured I would use this. It looks like a moisturizer. If you guys are not familiar with this primer, it's like really creamy. So now I'm going in with the foundation. I picked up the shade 410 Cappuccino. I'm pretty sure this is the shade that I had back in the past. So I really have not tried any other Revlon foundations. I think I tried one, the Revlon matte foundation or something like that with the purple writing, and I did not like it. So it does have a perfumey smell. I honestly cannot remember if it had a smell. I think it did have a smell. I can't remember exactly if it had like this smell, but it is like a perfume type smell. Since it is for combination oily skin, which is why I think I really gelled with it back in the day, because like it doesn't look too dewy. Like it looks pretty good on the skin. And I think a lot of people were comparing this to like the MAC foundations at the time, because if I remember correctly, there weren't a whole lot of foundations in the drugstore back 5-6 years ago that had foundations in this shade like Revlon, and I believe the only other one was the L'Oreal True Match at the time. At the time, there just wasn't a lot of foundations to like really get at the drugstore, especially for women of color. So this one was like one of my favorites, one of the only ones that I had other than the L'Oreal True Match. I'm actually liking it so far. I think I'm going to do a little bit more, just like one little small pump on my cheeks, because I just noticed that it's not as full coverage right here. I actually am really liking it. I like the fact that my face is not looking super dewy after I apply it. I think the color is actually pretty good. Like right off the bat, it's actually a pretty good color. I think it matches my undertones really well. It doesn't look too neutral. Like I think it's like just like how it was back then. Like it's a really good color. Okay, so the concealer that I chose was the Maybelline Master Conceal. This is the camouflaging concealer. So this was also a part of the Master Prime line that they came out with. Oh gosh, that was bad. This looks way too light, y'all. Although this looks a little too light, we're gonna hopefully try to make it work. So that's like the only thing about products, like when I do these oldie but goodies makeup tutorials, sometimes back in the day, like I may have liked the consistency or something, but sometimes the shades were off. Like, I'm not gonna lie. And I don't even know if they still sell this concealer. I don't even think they do. But I am proud of the fact that like L'Oreal and Maybelline and all of these other brands really did start stepping up their foundations and their concealers. Probably after like a couple of years of me like actually being really serious about makeup is when you had like the Maybelline Fit Me line, Matte and Poreless, and the Dewy and Smooth. And then you have the L'Oreal Infallible lines, which they keep expanding on. So I'm just happy that these brands are like finally like putting some type of like effort into the quality of products that they put out there. So at the time of this foundation, like when it was out, I was not using setting powders. Like I didn't even know what a loose setting powder was, I think 5-6 years ago. So I pulled out another product, which I'm sure you all will remember. The lid just broke off. Let me grab it. So the other product that I used to use all the time to set my concealer was the L'Oreal True Match Super Blendable Powder. And as you can see, this is like an old one that I've had for a while. Don't judge me, you guys. And the shade that I always used to get was Deep Warm. And again, these were like really good powders back in the day to use to just set your face, set your concealer with. Like translucent setting powders and loose powders weren't really a thing just yet, or at least they weren't like mainstream. I don't know, you know, professionally they may have, but like mainstream, especially at the drugstore, those did not come for at least like recently at the drugstore. And I still haven't really found a really good one that I like. Putting this everywhere. I'm gonna also just set my eyelids with it as well. So I am gonna go ahead and bronze. I'm just gonna speed through this because I'm not gonna use a product, because back in the day I never used to bronze, and so I didn't really have a product that I had back then. Like I didn't have that until probably like 2 years ago. But I'm gonna use my CoverGirl Ebony Queen Bronzer. It is a product that has been around for a while, so I guess you could technically say it's an oldie but a goodie. If you guys have any other products like that have been out for a while that you want me to like do like one of these videos on, like definitely let me know. If there's a product or something that you can think of like that you used to love back in the day, I may have used it as well. It doesn't have to be drugstore, it can also be high-end. Like I feel like most of these have centered around drugstore because I was a broke college student and even after I got out of school I was cheap. I didn't start really buying high-end makeup until 2015. So you know, if you want to throw some ideas out there, I'd be glad to try them out. So for blush, I'm actually using an old product that I've had for a while. This is the Wet n Wild Heather Silk blush, and it's the color Icon line. I used to love this blush, and I don't know, I don't really use blush anymore. Like it's not something, I feel like it does complete a makeup look sometimes, but like I just don't feel like it's necessary anymore. I just like my overall brown skin. I don't even like adding any color anymore to my cheekbones, but while I was doing it, it wasn't that big of a deal. All right, so I think I'm gonna apply a little bit more powder because my standards have kind of changed, you guys. So you know, this powder, I realize now that this powder is not like the best at keeping my oils at bay, and I could very well be a lot more oily than I was back 5-6 years ago. So I'm gonna go ahead and just touch up my brows, and then I'll move on to eyes. This part of the video most likely will not be drugstore friendly because I was just going through my products, and all of my older products that I have, or at least that I used from 3+ years back, were high end. So starting off with the primer, I'm using the Urban Decay Primer Potion. And I used to love this. I used to always buy the like travel sizes because I could never commit to getting the full size. So yeah, I realized that Nordstrom Rack was selling this, and they were selling half the price of the original. I'm going to be using some shadows today for my Z palette. If you guys remember like getting Z palettes or like getting Makeup Geek shadows and how like everybody was using those back in the day. I have a couple of MAC shadows in here, and then I have a couple of Anastasia shadows in here, so I'm gonna just go between the two. So I'm gonna start off with using, I think this is Anastasia's Blazing. That's what this is in the crease, and I'm gonna be mixing it with MAC's Raizin. So these are the two shadows that I'm gonna start off with. I feel like drugstore shadows have really improved, but still not as great of an improvement yet, I feel. And when I say that, like they've improved. I'm thinking mainly of like NYX and other affordable brands that have been like put into the drugstores now when it comes to just offering different products and just really stepping up their quality. So I like to see brands do that. And then of course you have like brands like ColourPop and stuff like that in the game now, but back then these people were not around. I'm going to be going in with MAC's Embark, so that is this shade here. I really want to try more cut crease looks. I feel like I tried a couple. I'm not going to try it today. You know that. It's definitely a skill that you have to master. So I'm just making sure this brown is like seen, because I feel like it's blended away too much. And then I'm going back with just a little bit of the first shade and just kind of hitting the outer area just so that shadow isn't taking over either. Alright, so now I'm going to go in to Anastasia's Glisten. I wasn't someone who tried the Makeup Geek shadows. I never ordered any Makeup Geek shadows. I haven't tried any ColourPop shadows. So when I saw Anastasia come out with shadows, I just was inclined to try them out, and I'm actually really happy that I did, because I really like their shadows. Quality, and they do last for a while. Just touch up any spots that I see that the shimmer kind of covered up the brown a little bit, just touching that up on the outer area here. So I'm going in with eyeliner today, and that was just the thing. When I first started doing makeup, I always used to do my liquid liner, the e.l.f. liquid liner, and they have so many different variations of e.l.f. liquid liner now. They have pens, they have different ones now. I think they have a gel. So now you can get different liquid liners, but back in the day, this was the one to go to. So just in case there was any fallout, before I put on lashes, I am going to just hit my face a little bit more with some powder, just in case there was any fallout, and just kind of dust it away, just right around my nose area. I don't want to go too far onto the blush. Okay, so I've applied some wispy lashes. I'm going to be going in with my Maybelline Falsies Volume Express Mascara. This is the oldest mascara that I still have in my collection. I'm going to just put some on my lower lash line. I used to love to line my waterline as well, just to give like some extra thickness and depth. But I started doing it with mascara, kind of just like scrubbing it against the lower lash line to kind of give that same effect. For lips today, I'm just going in with a NYX lip liner. This is in the shade Espresso. And then I'm actually going to go in with Kat Von D's Lolita liquid lip. If you guys remember anything about this liquid lip, you know that it was like everywhere. Everybody was using it. This was like during the era of the Kylie lip. So this was like one of the first ones of this shade that I had actually bought. Because before, I was not buying anything that was this pink. And because I'm more of a gloss girl, I'm going to finish it off with the MAC lip gloss or lip glass in Spice. I'm just going to put a little bit on because this is super sticky. I'm just going to tap my lips together. So it's not like a lot, but it's enough to give it a little bit of sheen without being too glossy. So back when this foundation was out, I did not even wear highlighter. I don't think I started wearing highlighter until about 2015, 2016. So I'm gonna skip that step. And this is pretty much the finished makeup look. I think everything turned out really well. Of course, I used eyeshadows that I really love. So I think the eyes turned out really well. The foundation and the concealer, I still actually really love this foundation. I think that it's still really good, and I can definitely see myself comparing it to some of my other drugstore foundations that I really love right now, just to see where this stacks up. Since it has a pump now, it's already better than a couple of the other foundations that I have, because if you're lacking this, I don't use it as much because it's an inconvenient. I think I'm seeing a little bit of like oiliness like in here, if you guys can see that. Like, I'm sure you can. And I've powdered since starting this video. I've powdered like 3 times, so I'm thinking it could be a combination of things. It could be this, which is the L'Oreal True Match powder. As I was saying before, it's not probably the longest lasting powder, and I just used to use it to set my concealer. And I mean, like right under here is not super dewy, but I'm getting kind of dewy like right here, and the light is hitting it, so it's kind of emphasizing the dewiness right here. So it could be either that, or it could be the concealer, one of the other, or both. But overall, I really think I'm going to be wearing this foundation a lot more frequently. These products are still in my collection, and as you can see on my face, they work. There's nothing wrong with them, but are they going to give me the same effect as some of my more modern products? Probably not. So just keep that in mind. So as always, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video and you want to see more videos like this, then please give me a thumbs up. I actually really like this idea, and as I said before, let me know down in the comments below if you've tried out the Revlon Colorstay, if it was an oldie but goodie for you, and any other products that you have, whether it be drugstore or high-end, so that way I can try those out, or even I might have it in my collection and do another video like this on the product. Also, if you are not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. I would love to see you back for another video, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!